Serbisyong care yan, tatak care yan.
Sa umaga ito ay tayo naman ay masaya na makakasama naman natin ng isang Batikanong abogado. Ay, nabibigyan tayo ng tawag dito ng education patungkol sa property relations between husband and wife. Naku, maganda itong usapin. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng conjugal property? At kailan nagsisimula ang conjugal property? At anong ibig sabihin nito? O sa umagang ito, kasama natin, hindi na natin siya bisita, lagi na natin kasama ang isang Batikanong abogado, Attorney Francesco Britannico. Good morning po, Attorney.
Good morning, Sir Rico. Good morning. Good morning, Sir Ronnie.
Good morning po.
Attorney, batiin niyo muna po ang ating libo-libong mga viewers at listeners sa buong Pilipinas at maging sa ibang bansa.
Good morning po sa lahat at sana po ay magandang umaga or gabi kung ano mang oras sa inyo at sana po ay nakapagpahinga sila sa kahapon na holiday natin.
Oo. Attorney, maganda ang ating pag-uusapan ngayon. Ito ay patungkol sa property relations between husband and wife or Executive Order number 209. Attorney, baka pwede ho natin munang i-educate ang public. Ano po itong laman ng Executive Order 209?
Well, pang binabanggit po natin ay yung Family Code po ng Pilipinas na in force po since 1988. After, ang nagpasa po nito actually ay si Presidente Corazon Aquino. Dahil after EDSA, meron siyang legislative powers. At pinalitan nito yung mga provision doon sa ating civil code governing marriage. So, meron tayong batas before sa ating civil code since 1949, 1950 na nagbibigay ng kung ano ang property relations between spouses, among other things.
Apo.
And since 1988, bago na po yung naging sistema. Naging absolute community of property ang default natin na magiging sitwasyon kung may kakasal. At dati po ay community property, conjugal property regime po dati. Ngayon naging absolute community property.
Ano ho ang pagkakaiba ng conjugal property sa absolute community property?
Alright, yung conjugal partnership of gains, I guess is the term that we should use. The conjugal partnership of gains was the system before the family code, before 1988. Ang ibig sabihin nito ay nung yung mga panahon nating mga magulang nung kinasal sila ay ang kanila pong ari-arian before marriage ay hindi magiging part of the community property. Kung ano lang po ma-generate during the marriage, yun po ang magiging conjugal property. Yun po ang ibig sabihin ng conjugal partnership of gains. What you bring into the marriage remains yours, but what you generate during the marriage will be part of the community property. Pero iniba po natin yan noong 1988 for I guess for whatever reason that they decided, naging absolute community. Meaning in general, any property that you bring into the marriage will belong to the community property.
So hindi
Meaning po, yes, sir.
yes, go ahead po, Attorney, sorry.
Meaning po, may ikakasal ngayon, ang may pag-aari sila na lupa or bahay or pera, yung lahat yun ay magiging part of the community property. So, magiging part po ng ari-arian ng kasal. Hindi lang po individual anymore.
Wow. That's something, ibig pong sabihin, Attorney, hindi na pwedeng gamitin ngayon yung word na conjugal partnership gain.
Hindi, well, pwede pa po, pero you have to choose it before you get married. Dahil po sa ating sistema, ang default natin, unless you have a prenuptial agreement, is to have absolute community of property. And you have to, if you want the system to be different, you have to choose it before you get married. Kailangan po gumawa sila ng dokumento na sinasabi nila na meron silang basically may prenuptial agreement sila. And they decide that instead of the default that what the family code provides for, may pinili silang ibang sistema. Kung hindi nila ginawa ito, automatic absolute community po ang magiging sitwasyon.
So pumapayag ang batas ng arrangement before marriage.
Yes. only before marriage. Kung i-try nila gawin ito after marriage, hindi na po pwede. Pumapayag lang yung batas sa tinatawag nating prenuptial agreement, meaning it has to be before the nuptial, before the marriage. Otherwise, hindi po pwede palitan.
Oo, kasi may mga ganun talaga, attorney, tayong naririnig na halimbawa mayaman ang family ng isa at yung pumapapasok ay hindi naman ganon, ay nagkakaroon ng prenuptial agreement na hindi magiging conjugal property yung aming na-acquire before the marriage.
Yes, that's entirely possible. So, the law actually allows na wide latitude. May malaki tayong freedom of choice to decide what kind of property regime. It can be absolute community, it can be conjugal partnership of gains, and it can in fact be anything else. But it has to be decided on and
Before.
in writing before the marriage po.
Wow, that's very interesting. So pag hindi yun na ginawa, by default, wala na. Magiging absolute community property. Lahat ng properties gained before marriage.
Yes, everything will be absolute community. If you want to change that, you need to file a case in court to change the community
Opo.
property.
So
If
may
you don't
remedy
file a
pa
case
rin
in court,
pala. May remedy pa rin, attorney.
kahit pa paano po meron, but it's of course it requires a court case, meaning hindi po siya simple document na lang like it was before nung bago kayo pinasal. At may limits po in what you can change, pero may remedy in a way because you can file a case in court to change the community property. In a sense, you file what's called the judicial separation of property.
So, halimbawa, attorney, absolute community na yung, ano tawag dito? Property. Na. Okay. Halimbawa, namatay yung isa.
Yes, sir.
Oo. Kanino mapupunta yung property? 100% sa na remaining sa naasawa or merong part sa mga anak?
So, magkakaroon po ng sequence of how the property is going to be distributed. For example, may mag-asawa at may anak sila. And then, pumanaw po yung isang asawa. Ang mangyayari, meron silang ari-arian. Half of that goes outright to the surviving spouse as his or her share of the community property. The other half will go to the tagapagmana, the heirs of the deceased. So yung other half na yun, siya ang i-distribute doon sa mga tagapagmana. And yung mga tagapagmana will include the children and the wife herself, for example, the surviving spouse. So, let's say for example, may 100 pesos na naiwan. So, 50 pesos will be owned outright by the surviving spouse. Yung other 50 pesos will be divided into equal shares between the surviving spouse and the children.
So may
as their inheritance.
Meron pa ring part doon ang surviving spouse doon sa remaining 50.
Yes, because yun po yung remaining 50 is yung tinatawag nating estate ng pumanaw. So yun yung i-distribute sa mga tagapagmana niya and tagapagmana yung surviving spouse. Yung 50 pesos na nakuha ng surviving spouse in the first place is not mana. It's his or her share of the property in the first place.
I understand. So ito pong attorney, ito ba ay automatic administrative na lang or dadaan pa sa kaso?
Hindi po niya kailangan dumaan sa kaso as long as in agreement yung mga survivors. So of course kung asawa lang naman yung naiwan, wala po silang anak, she can simply draw up the paperwork, pay the taxes for it doon sa BIR, yung inheritance taxes natin, tapos mapapatransfer na niya yung titulo, for example, doon sa Register of Deeds. Pero kung may mga ibang tagapagmana, like mga anak, surviving children, well, kung sa ganung sitwasyon, what they would do is that they have to sign a written agreement. If they make a written agreement, it's the same situation po. As long as all the heirs are in agreement, then you don't need to go to court. Pero if hindi po sila in unanimous agreement, wala ka pong magagawa unless you go to court.
So, ang process nun, ganun na lang kadali, attorney. But you need a lawyer pa din.
Well, we would suggest that they speak to a lawyer. The idea is that you don't need to go to court But
Okay.
it's best na naintindihan nila. Of course, they still have to notarize the document. They need to organize the papers para ma ma-submit ito na maayos sa government offices. Like the BIR will require inheritance taxes and those things before you will be allowed to transfer the title. So theoretically, kaya nating gawin yan ourselves, but there are concerns like how will you actually divide the shares? How will you identify which shares are owned by which heirs? It would be helpful to have some advice, but the idea is that kaya sana siya if all the heirs are in agreement with each other.
Iniisip ko, attorney, what if nagsasama lang sila, hindi naman sila kasal, pero nakapag-gain sila ng mga, live-in partner lang sila, nakapag-gain sila ng mga assets, ano po ang mangyayari doon sa mga assets nila?
Well, ang ibig sabihin po nun ay hindi sila kasal,
Opo.
or for example, null and void yung marriage nila, magkasama sila, or kung sila po ay never kinasal pero wala naman po silang disqualification, pero nag-live-in situation lang talaga sila. In that situation, ang ginagawa natin is that kung ano yung contribution nila to the assets, yun yung kanilang share. Pero kung ang living situation nila is that sila po ay wala namang disqualifications, yung presumption po ng batas is that yung caretaker, for example, ng home, that is his or her contribution to the generation of the assets or ng ari-arian. So ang presumption po ng ating batas in situations like that is that 50-50 pa rin yung share. Dahil co-owner sila. Hindi sila kasal, pero co-owner ang treatment sa kanila.
Pero
Of course, ang ibig sabihin nun, hindi po tagapagmana yung surviving person. Pero meron siyang share doon sa 50 pesos.
paano naman na, attorney, kung hindi naman parehas talaga yung capital nila? Mas malaki naman yung capital nung isa doon sa pinutap nilang business. For example, pag naghati ba sila 50%, 50-50 pa rin, hindi ba susundin yung kung magkano ang capital ko, yun ang kukunin ko, mas malaki sa akin, 60% sa akin, di 60% ang aking kukunin sa buong kita natin.
That can be possible, but ang presumption po ng ating batas is that kung ang contribution po ng isa ay siya yung nag-aalaga doon sa kanilang household situation, siya po yung nagluluto, nagte-take care ng bahay and all of that, yun yung kanyang contribution. It will be treated as the contribution to the living situation in that sense, and therefore allows her the right to the 50%.
Okay. But siyempre ang magde-decide niyan ay korte. Tama po ba, attorney?
It can be po korte. Ang magpo-complicate po niyan is if one of them is actually married pero meron silang live-in situation with somebody else.
Yun.
Kasi ibig sabihin merong conjugal property. And then ibig sabihin sa ganung sitwasyon, edi yung ka-live-in partner, ang kanyang magiging share is yung kanyang actual contribution talaga. Hindi lang po yung presumption dahil siya nag-aalaga ng bahay ay nagte-take care ng living situation nila ay meron siyang karapatan. Because magiging priority pa rin yung dun sa legitimate marriage. Yun yung magiging priority with respect to having the share of the community property.
Yun ang aking tanong, attorney, no? Very complicated. Halimbawa, baga ay mayroon tayong community ano tawag dito, property, no, na mag-asawa. Naghiwalay sila. Oo. Nag-i-earn yung lalaki, nag-i-earn din yung babae. Yung bagang earnings nila, kahit hiwalay na sila, ay considered pa rin doon sa tinatawag nating community property.
Yes. In general, yes po. As long as they are married, as long as the marriage is not dissolved, the community property will continue to exist, and the surviving spouse, in the event na mamatay po yung isa, is still an heir. So kahit na 20 years na silang hiwalay, pero kasal pa rin sila, whatever is generated there is still community property. And also, so 50% yan mapupunta po doon sa legitimate spouse.
Galing, ha?
And then the wife or the husband who survives is still an heir. Tagapagmana pa rin po along with the children. So kung may ka-live-in partner po siya, number one po, hindi siya tagapagmana. Number two, hindi siya entitled dun sa 50%. Entitled lang siya dun sa actual contribution. Meaning kung mapapatunayan niya na actually nag-contribute siya ng pera sa investment or nagtrabaho siya dun sa business na ginagawa, meron po siyang karapatan in that sense, but not in the sense of being a co-owner. At least not in the sense of, wala siyang presumption na co-owner siya.
Now I understand bakit maraming mga mag-asawa kahit na magkahiwalay na talaga ayaw mag-process ng annulment ng isa.
Well,
Lalo na malaki ang kinikita ng isa.
that might be so. And also because ang hirap po talaga ng proseso ng annulment. It's quite medyo, I guess sometimes nagangyaring sitwasyon is they just go about and live their lives dahil they feel na hindi po nila ma-undertake. Pero of course, magkakaroon sila ng problem with that na if one spouse is continuing to generate nagtatrabaho siya at meron gusto niyang iwanan na iba, sure yun yung responsibilidad ng spouse na yun na asikasuhin yung kanilang legal situation and then file whatever case is necessary. And like I said po, actually there's a possibility na if they file a case kahit hindi annulment, meron tayong judicial separation of property. And you file
Talaga?
a case na mas madali po siya in the sense na if the spouses agree, they can file a case and then i-divide nila yung property while they're still alive. They will tell the court,
Pwede
ganito
pala
lang po
yun.
gagawin namin.
If
Of course,
the
it
other
will not
party
change
agrees.
the fact na yes, if they agree. If it's fairly easy if they agree, but if they don't agree, adversarial court case din po yung even separation of property. Pero at least merong opportunity na okay, gusto na nilang asikasuhin ito, even though hindi madali yung annulment, at least yung separation of property is possible. So those are options as well.
Kasi siyempre hindi parehas na sa mag-asawa attorney ay parehas may ability na kumita. May mga mag-asawa na yung isa lang yung
lalaki
kumikita
lang, oo,
or yung
yung
babae
babae.
lang kumikita. So siyempre pag nag-decide sila ng separation of property, medyo lugi yung isa. Kasi wala naman siyang mabibit-bit.
Well, they can agree po. That's why po, it's important that yung agreement will be clear about the terms. Meaning there can be a compromise about, okay, when they divide the assets while they're still alive, ganito po yung pagpupuntahan. So magkakaroon po ng at least pagkakabuhayan or at least pagbagong panimula yung isa or whatever else that they agree on. Or baka lang even though, or it might even be that they will simply decide na para lang malinaw, even though walang makukuha yung isa, pero hindi naman niya gusto makuha, gusto nilang na mag-move on sila in a sense. Or at least and it also has the benefit of protecting assets from creditors. Kahit hindi nag-aaway yung mag-asawa, at least kung may utang yung isa, hindi na po hahabulin yung kanilang community property dahil na-separate na nila. So there are benefits to that even with respect po to spouses who are not separated.
Pero pag na-divide na yung property, attorney, pagdating sa dulo, halimbawa na-divide yung property. Okay? Namatay na yung isa na mas malaki ang kanyang share. Oo, doon sa division of property. Pag namatay na yung isa, ito bang surviving spouse, wala na siyang makukuha doon sa property ng namatay. Kasi divided na eh.
Well, divided na po wala na pong co-ownership. Pero tagapagmana pa rin po siya.
Okay.
So
meron pa rin siya makukuha doon sa mana.
Meron siya makukuha doon sa mana unless there are other legal steps that were taken. For example, kung annulment yung hinabol instead of judicial separation of property, then of course hindi na siya tagapagmana dahil hindi na sila kasal. Pero kung ang nangyari instead is gumawa ng last will and testament yung pumanaw, at dun sa last will and testament niya, disinherit niya yung kanyang surviving spouse dahil sinasabi niya,
Pwede ba yun?
my surviving spouse had a relationship with other people or whatever else it might be, or I was maltreated, and then pwede niyang i-disinherit, and then hindi na tagapagmana yung isa. So there are ways to stop the surviving spouse from being an heir, but they have to be deliberately chosen.
So ibig sabihin may karapatan pa rin talaga yung isa, yung yung ano na sa last will and testament niya, i-honor 'yun attorney.
I-honor po yun, but again, that's not so simple because you need to file that in court also for the enforcement of the will, essentially.
Oh, that's
So-
very interesting ah.
So it's yes po, and it's mabusisi. So it depends on the situation of what remedy or what solution is appropriate. Sometimes the simplest talaga is mag-file na lang sila ng annulment, or sometimes it might be a combination of the different things that I mentioned. So it will depend really on the situation of the spouses, but they have options.
Pag na-annulled, wala na cut yung mana, pero yung separation of property ipapatupad.
Kung na-annul yung marriage, that usually involves the dissolution of the conjugal property as well. So in the same marriage, that will also be addressed by the court na okay, separate na yung kanilang properties. What's yours is yours, what's his is his. And then hindi na rin sila tagapagmana of each other.
So kasama na yung properties nila, division of property sa kanilang end ng marriage. Actually, hindi.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's very clear. Mhm.
Ang medyo ano yun, yung kung halimbawa maghiwalay na sila ng 10 years tapos accumulated pa rin.
If the marriage is dissolved, yeah, that's correct.
Oo.
Marami kayong kasi attorney. Actually, sa ngayon kasi attorney, uso na yung wag na tayo magpakasal.
Mhm.
But let's join our parang mayroon tayong joint business venture. Oo, hindi sila kasal pero mayroon silang business venture. Ang problema diyan attorney, pag hindi nagkasawaan sila, naghiwalay sila, yung problema yung ano mangyayari doon sa pinutap nilang business.
Assuming na magkasama sila at hindi naman sila married sa ibang tao, pero magkasama sila, tapos nag-put up sila ng business, that's the situation where the presumption applies. Na 50-50 talaga yung kanila. Kung magkahiwalayan sila, yung kanilang share will be 50-50 of the
Pero
of
hindi
the
yun
business
automatic
and of the
attorney,
assets.
di ba? Hindi automatic yung attorney. It will go through the process ng sa court. Is that correct?
They would have to go to court if they cannot agree on a settlement. Hopefully, ang situation is that they can mapag-usapan nila and then they can write up kung ano yung division na lang among themselves and then they can implement it. But if they cannot agree, for example, yung isa is blocking the person from accessing the office na or the business, wala na pong choice except to go to court.
Yes, kasi pag pera na pinag-uusapan, bihirang nag-agree attorney.
That's unfortunate, but that can be really a source of pag-aaway.
Paano attorney kung yung isa gusto nang ibenta yung yung business na yun at yung isa ay ayaw?
Oo,
Dahil
sino masusunod?
kumikita. Oo.
Well, in that situation, it's a co-ownership. And in co-ownerships, it's usually best to offer your share to the other person. Ibenta natin, you buy me out. Kung hindi po nag-agree yung isa or hindi kaya ng isa, ang pwedeng gawin is you file a case in court and ask the court to dissolve the co-ownership. And one of the options is that the court might actually put it up for auction. And then kung ibebenta, i-auction siya, tapos yung proceeds will be divided among the two.
Okay.
So that's a possible solution for it.
Mm. So pwede rin yung ayaw magbenta, bigyan na lang or bayaran na lang yung kanyang shares. Pwede na rin po yun, attorney.
Yes po. Well, yung ayaw magbenta, pwede pong gawin sa na i-order ng court, yes, na i-dissolve yung co-ownership in that way. So, but of course, mas madali sana, mas maiwasan yung expenses and the grief of going through trial kung magkaroon sila ng way in the first place, magkaroon sila ng one person sana who can buy the other out. Pero kung ayaw talaga, court ang solusyon ninyo.
Okay.
Dito attorney sa yung sa outline sa pinadala sa atin na information. Ano ito attorney na property reaching of unions without marriage? Anong ibig sabihin niyan, attorney?
Yun po yung ating napag-usapan right now. Yung
Live-in.
sila po ay yung mga naka-live-in situation.
Okay.
Pero hindi sila kasal. Yun po yung sitwasyon na ang presumption is at 50-50 yung kanilang share. Sila po ay hindi kasal at namamahay sila na magkasama. So ang presumption is that kung may ma-generate na assets during that relationship, both of them contributed.
Mm-mm. Mga actual situations like mag-asawa, naghiwalay na yung mag-asawa pero walang legal na separation, pero magkahiwalay ng totoo. Tapos nangasawa na yung lalaki ng iba, yun ang kinakasama niya talaga. Nung mamatay yung, pag namatay yung lalaki, automatic ba na mabibigyan siya ng share o nakadepende iyan sa, halimbawa, naglagay ng last will and testament ang namatay, na itong aking kinakasama ngayon, makaka-receive siya ng share, automatic bang papayagan yun o paano pag ayaw ibigay nung totoong asawa? Ay, hindi po pwede yan. Ako ang tunay na asawa, akin yan. Alin bang masusunod doon? Yung last will and testament ng asawa o yung surviving spouse?
Sa ating batas po, in order for a last will and testament to have any effect, you have to submit it to the court. So, dadalhin siya sa korte, ipapatunayan na last will and testament talaga ito ng pumanaw, and then you get the court orders to enforce and implement it. So, if you're able to enforce it, masusunod yung last will and testament.
Okay.
But yung ating batas with respect to inheritance also has limitations for your authority in your own last will and testament. If you have a spouse who survives you, that person is a compulsory heir na entitled to a share kahit anumang nakalagay dun sa last will and testament unless you validly disinherit that person. So kung meron kang good ground to disinherit this person, like for example, you say that you've been maltreated by this person and or you meron pong let's say adultery that has happened that prevents the situation from being tenable, you mention that in the last will and testament, and then isasabit mo yun sa korte for the court to rule on whether that disinheritance is valid. If there is no valid disinheritance, then the court is going to say no, the surviving spouse still has a share. So it's up to the court in a lot of ways.
Kasi kung sa last will and testament niya lang yung sasabihin, bakit din niya na kinaso noon pa? Bakit sa last will and testament niya sinasabi na he is or he was being maltreated, di ba, attorney?
Well, sometimes po people make their whatever choices that they do. So hindi ko po masabi, but it does happen na yung situation that you described na sila ay hiwalay na, nagbubuhay sila ng separate lives nila pero hindi nila final yung kaso. So because of that, the law does still allow disinheritance, but it becomes the occasion na to prove yung grounds ng disinheritance. Hindi na po yung habang nabuhay yung tao.
So pag mga ganong sitwasyon, pag kumontra yung surviving spouse, magkakaso yun. Lalabanan niya yung last will and testament ng kanyang ex-husband. Sasabihin ay hindi pa pwedeng bigyan ng inheritance tong kanyang second wife or yung kabit. Hindi pa pwede. Sa amin yan ng mga anak niya kasi kami ang legal.
Well, that's actually also a limitation with the last will and testament na kung the beneficiary is the person with whom a person was committing adultery or concubinage, yung law natin actually bars inheritance for that person sa last will and testament.
Okay.
So I guess you're right and you're very much correct in that sense na dapat nag-file siya ng kaso to dissolve the marriage before pa. Otherwise, hindi niya magagawang beneficiary yung kabila. Ang magiging recourse na lang ng kabila is to claim na meron siyang actual contribution dun sa business. Pero kung hindi niya mapatunayan yun, mapupunta po talaga lahat dun sa legitimate surviving spouse.
So mawawala lahat yung kanyang mawawaliwala yun sa kanya pag hindi niya inunahan yun.
Yes. Kailangan niyang sa situation na ganun, kailangan niyang mapatunayan na one, sa kanya yung property in the first place, hindi dun sa namatay. Or two, meron siyang actual contribution to the building of the business or the building of the asset na that entitles him or her to 50% of the ownership.
Dito, attorney, may tanong pa ako dito, attorney, sa
Mm.
conjugal partnership of gains. Ano po yung mga properties na included, particular po na mga properties na included po dito? And also the excluded properties.
Yes. Yung sa conjugal partnership of gains, that was the situation that governed marriages
Before.
1988.
Oo.
So yung marriages of our parents, for example, before 1988, ibig sabihin, what is included is the property acquired during the marriage in general. So kung merong bahay na binili or merong lupa na na-acquire, that's generally part of the conjugal partnership of gains. But there are exclusions as you noted. Primarily, the one is the property acquired during the marriage if it was by what's called gratuitous title. Kung binigay po, may binigay na property sa kanya as a gift, donation, or inheritance. Kunyari, during the marriage, meron po tayong magulang ourselves who passed away. The asset acquired from inheritance from that parent is not going to be part of the community property. In fact, that's the same case for absolute community or for conjugal partnership of gains.
Oh, okay.
If you inherit something during the marriage, that is not part of the community property. That belongs exclusively to the spouse who inherited the property.
But before, if you inherit that before the marriage, that will automatically become part of the community property.
If the marriage is an absolute community, yes, it will be part of the community property. But if the marriage were before 1988 and it's a conjugal partnership of gains, because it was already owned by the spouse before the marriage, hindi siya ipapasok doon sa community property.
Oh, pero kung after 1988, pwede na community property na 'yon kahit inherited mo 'yon.
Yes, unless it falls onto other certain categories. Like for example, if the spouse, this was already the second marriage, for example, of the spouse.
Okay. Okay.
At may anak na sila from that first marriage. Kung meron na siyang previous marriage, of course he had assets already, and then if he gets married again, all his assets before that are not going to form part of the community property, because the idea is that they're going to be, in a sense, they're being reserved for his children from the first marriage.
Well, attorney, napakarami naming natutunan ngayon talaga sa ating discussion. I'm sure sa mga listeners natin sa radyo at sa mga manonood pa nito, pag meron sila, attorney, gustong malaman o gusto nilang katanungan, linawin sa iyo, papaano kanila makakontak, attorney?
Aabot po kami sa aming website. Meron po kaming form dun. If they have questions, we'll be happy to address if we can. Nasa www.lawyerphilippines.org. And if they have questions on this or other topics, we'll be happy to address them if they have need.
Yun. Maraming salamat po, attorney, sa isa namang makabuluhan at napaka informative na discussion natin ngayong umaga. Pagpalain ka ng Diyos, attorney.
Kayo rin po at magandang umaga po sa inyo at sa lahat. Thank you po ulit.
God bless. Pagpalain ka ng Diyos. Ingatan ka ng Panginoong Diyos sa buong maghapon, attorney. Ayan po, mga kapatid, nakasama na naman natin ng isang Batikano, diretsahan talaga magsagot.
Talagang legal basis.
Attorney Francesco Britannico. Talaga namang marami akong natutunan doon, Karoni. Kaya yung mga ari-arian mo, Karoni, yung mga ari-arian mo ngayon, na na-acquire mo, ang tawag doon, community property. Sa inyong dalawa na yun. Kasi tapos na yung conjugal property noong 1988.
Paano pala kung bininta mo during that time tapos hindi mo binigay?
Ay, kakasuhan ka.
Kakasuhan.
Oo, kasi community property na ang tawag doon. Hindi na siya conjugal property gain. Community property na siya. Ninyong mag-asawa. Unless otherwise, may prenuptial agreement ka mo.
Na hindi
equal lang share. Wala naman kayong ginawa eh.
Kinasal.
Kaya lahat ng mga aso nyo, mga pusa,
utang,
ay Ay, kasama yan sa
Kasama
inyong
yun sa community
community
property.
property. Wala na pala yung term na conjugal property.
Community property.
Doon pala yan sa before 1988.
1988.
Oo, after 1988, community property na ang apod. At automatic na yun, Karoni. Ha? Hanggat by default automatic na yun. Unless otherwise, nagkaigaw ka mo ng agreement before marriage. Na ang property ko, akin lang before marriage.
Paano so vow nindo, sir, na
For better or for
ang
worse.
ang lahat
Akin
ng
ay iyo. Ang akin ay iyo. Hindi na pwede yun.
Hindi applicable yun.
Kaya pala maraming artista ganun, Karoni.
Na may
na
prenup.
may prenup agreement. No, yung kita nga niya ni ganito, hindi kasama sa magiging community
Kasi
property.
pareha sila mayroon.
Oo.
Lalo na pala kung pangalawang marriage na.
Oo, lalo na pag palang tapos naka-acquire
second
sa
marriage.
first marriage.
Yun.
So, they pwede yun.
So,
Pero
yun-
dapat
yun
prenup.
Yun pala, protection din para doon sa mga
Anak niya sa
anak.
una. Pero kailangan ideklara sa prenuptial agreement.
Kailangan. Kasi pag hindi na ideklara, automatic
Madi-default.
yun.
May default. Magiging community. Kaya ngayon, Karon, dahil ang mga ari-arian mo nung araw ng binata ka pa. Grabe ang ari-arian mo.
Ay, grabe.
Ay,
Winalat ko sana sa Masbate.
iyon ay by default sa inyo ng duwa.
Nakatago pati ito sa mga baul.
Eh, kay dahil mo man dahil ka man nag-prenuptial agreement.
So, espada ni tatay.
Iyo.
So, baston.
Iyo. So, anting-anting. Subirton. Yaon sa lumang baon.
Sa lumang baul ito.
Yan ang tawag doon, community property no nando.
Itao ko na sa iya.
Iyo. Dahil mo pa pwedeng suluhon ito.
Pati pala nutang.
Badi utang. By default sa inyo
By default.
community property na ito.
Kambi.
Iyo. Kailangan palang karon kung aram talang ini kayo ito kung panahon. Dapat bago kita nagpakasal, dapat pig-specify ta ini sako lang ini.
Iyo bagadi.
Ta ini mana ko ini. Oo.
Sa imo, applicable yan. Kang ikasultiro pa, dakulon kang na-acquire.
Ano yan? Choir? Iyo. Choir man ang gata ko kay ito. Choir.
Na-acquire.
O kaya yun mga tugang tabi, for more information, na may kahaputang tabi ka mo kay Attorney Britannico at gusto niyang kunin ang serbisyo ng ni Attorney Francesco Britannico, ay pwede ho kayong magpunta sa ano nga ito?
Sa page nila.
Oo, sa lawyers.com. Hanapin nyo lang po si Attorney Francesco Britannico. Para sa mga kahaputan nindo. Ay, grabe natutunan ko ngayon Karoni, ha?
Pati pala sa mga live-in, igwa man pala na.
Oo, dahil pwede pala. Kaya kung mag-ano ka mo, kung kayo halimbawa,
Pero magkaiba yun sa live-in, sir. Kasi doon sa live-in ay 50-50 ang ownership.
kita man dahil man kita tatawag dito, nag-advocate kang live-in, ha? Dahil ka mo magparo live-in, tabawal iyan.
Mas magayong
Oo.
ang kasal.
Magpakasal ka mo.
Para
Pero,
legal.
Yan. Kung sakali man na igawa ka mo joint venture. Pero
Maski nga ni sir, warang joint venture. Mas magayon na legal.
Ayun.
Pag bako kasi ka mo kasal, illegal ka mo.
Illegal yan sa Diyos.
Maski sa batas.
Naman sa batas ng tao, illegal yan. Kaya dahil ka mo kayo magpuro practice ng mga role live-in na yan. Magpakasal ka mo ng maayos.
Sabi ni Ian, kinuri kita, 70 po pala ng barangay Tabi, Pastor, Kang Ligaspi.
Ayun, 70 po pala. Ayun. So, sorry. Sabi ni Paling Erwin Bongon, shout out watching here from the province of Mulad Bukad, Grande Ginubatan, Albania. Good morning sa mo dyan. Benjo, nahuri ka na Paling Erwin, ha? Di kalugod na kasimbag sa samuyang kahaputang kasubag. Tristan Wyatt beats the ball. Good morning, boys.
Oy, good news tabi sa imong Kariko sa Santo Domingo.
Ano da?
Mananaoki subsidy.
Iyo.
Rice subsidy 1K. Sa Santo Domingo.
Iyo. 1K?
1K. Bako ito 300.
1K? Turutanan.
Turot may fiksin sese, may fiksin sese.
Ayo?
Ah,
Aw inyong...
iyo
Paso
iba
na-
man pala sa inyo.
Paso natawa ako sa screen name. Kala ko ano na Mr. Gopito.
Pambira, buong ko yan mon. Ruel ang pangaran ko.
Pambira yan.
Baka magkapalitan na kaming pandok ni Daddy Raw.
Ay, mayroon pala kaming
Iyo nga ni, subsidy yan.
bukas i-discuss tayo.
Sige.
Tirahon tama na ta. Siyempre, atin man i-congratulate si Mayor Bong Banda.
Yun.
Nandiyan pala sa Santo Domingo. Igwa maning
Ay pero,
1,000.
hindi eh.
Oh,
Uni pa lang sir, sa Sanribong residente sa Santo Domingo, pang 1,100, pang 1,001 ka.
Dahil na ako kaibanan. Ano man daw yan, Bong? Mayor Bong?
Pang 1,100 ka.
Isama mo man daw ako, pambira ka. Dahil baga ako naka-receive ka invitation.
Tsaka, pambira, attire mo pa man sana. Di ka na. Di mo naman pag-receive. Itaw mo naman sana sa iba.
Sayang man itong 1,000. Kuhan mo ito.
Hindi man nga ni raise subsidy ni sir sa para
Kaya-
sa Sanribong residente.
Iyo.
Baka man pala 1,000.
Iyo.
Una ko lamang 1K.
Yan. Dapat kaibanan man kita. Dapat pang 900 kami.
Oo.
Pang 9, parang 999.
Sa aga diskuteron. Sa aga pala. No?
Kaman pala sa na kaya napermi ka man lang. Paaraw na daw kita.
Paaraw na kami. Sige.
Sa 8:27 na, yaw na pati si mo. Lagi nating paalala habang may panahon pa.
Tanggapin natin si Jesus bilang Panginoon at tagapagligtas ng ating buhay.
Nakasama natin ngayon sa Technical Science si Don Ramon Diaz. Kami po ang inyong mga kasama, kalakakang kalmusalan tuwing umaga, hindi nagbabago at laging presko. Laging nandyan. El Solamente, Rico Diaz.
At ako naman po nagsusulong guwapito na gustong baguhin ang screen name. Ronnie Rensales.
Bye-bye po.
God bless everyone.
Sa mga napag-usapang issue, pwede mong ipaabot ang iyong komento o opinion. I-text sa aming contact information 0998-843-0573 sa Facebook page CARE 104.3 The Way FM o sa email address info@dway.febc.ph.